All right, the question I want to answer today is a good one. It's this: Tamara, I have a presentation. I really want to get buy-in for my ideas, but my boss comes running into the room and says, I only have 10 minutes. I got a lot on my mind. Go. What do I do? All right, we've all been there. Great question. Hi, I'm Tamara. I help people and teams be their absolute best by helping them discover their everyday innovator style with our proprietary assessment and then giving them the custom tools to put into action. All right, let me answer this question. How many times have we been in that meeting where the person who we need to say yes to get buy-in, the key stakeholder, comes in and controls the energy in the room, and they're frustrated, they're frenzied, they're in a hurry, and then we get riled up trying to respond? Well, I want to give you a tool that I've used time and time again to change the energy in the room, take back control, and make sure that we have the conversation we need to have so I can get buy-in for my ideas. So here's what I do. It's a tool called Acknowledge and Stop. Here's how it works. So when your boss comes into the meeting and says, I only have 10 minutes, go, and they're riled up and they're frenzied, and then what do, right? You tend to kind of get all riled up, and then you're trying to fit an hour presentation or conversation into 10 minutes. Never works. Instead, I want you to do this. Hey, Greg, I totally get it. We all have days like that where it just builds up and we have a lot of fires to put out. Listen, 10 minutes isn't going to do us justice. We just can't have the conversation we need to have. I'd be wasting your time and mine. So what do you say we stop and reschedule the conversation? Here's what happens in that moment. First of all, you take back control and the energy in the room. You don't let that false narrative own how you're going to proceed. Second, what I often find is it creates a pattern interrupt with a person on the other side of the table, the person who walked in all, you have 10 minutes, go. So they have a chance to catch their breath and respond with either, you know what, thank you, you're right, this is not the right time, let's do this tomorrow. Or, you know what, I do have more than 10 minutes. Let's have the conversation we need to have. I have 45 minutes, so let's make this happen. When we shock the system like that, we take the energy back and we switch up their energy at the same time. Acknowledge, stop. If someone comes in already arms crossed, like you know they're gonna say no out of the gate, love that person, by the way. I love to say to them, hey, Susie, looks like you're having kind of a bad day. Sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on that's kind of top of mind for you, and maybe you're not in the right space for this conversation. Totally get it. We've all had those days. So how about we just stop for a second and see if it makes sense to come back after lunch? Like, it sounds like you're not in the right place for this conversation today. So let's not waste each other's time. Again, 90% of the time, people come back and they're like, whew, you know what? My bad. You're right. I'm sorry. Let me take a breath and let's dig in. Or they reschedule because that's the right thing to do. Either one is great. Acknowledge and stop. And that is today's tip.